uplifted states. So one question is from someone online. After a few years of meditation and keeping precepts, the mind starts to dwell in beautiful states where it feels a lot of pleasure, like a cooling sensation with joy permeating the entire body. Body becomes so light as an air bubble, feels like floating. The mind reaches this state at its will without much effort. Mind also contemplating body as impermanent, but still struggles seeing the different mind states clearly and takes them as me. Please provide some guidance. So this is very gratifying to realize your practice is, after years, is bearing good fruit, pamoja, gladness, piti, sukha, these conjoined terms, gladness, pamoja, piti, a sense of like a gentle thrill, and sukha, a feeling of comfort and ease. So, and these are permeate the body and also refresh, permeate citta. So it's kind of tension, and you don't realize how sort of tense it is till it relaxes. And it's normally so associated with action and cetana, volition. It's always ready to jump, and holding something and remembering something. And what next? Am I doing it right? This sort of residual kind of jitters, all that. So it really to kind of just keep reassuring it you're okay, and as the body can just give the chitta that little bit of lighten up, things will move along. You can relax, that quality. Mm. Mm. So seeing body as impermanent, contemplating body as impermanent. Well, what do you mean by body? Mm. If you're in this agreeable state, I don't quite know what body you have is arising for you. Mm. Sensations, body energies. So yeah, it is. It definitely is a changing phenomenon, changing display. Mm. So very directly, not the idea of the physical body, which isn't, well, you can do that more or less any time. But the here and now, a sense of these qualities of firmness, earthiness, fluidities, spaciousness, warmth, all the vibrant, shifting. The elements, what are called elements. So that solidity is just the shifting thing. Mm. Fluctuations of warmth and brightness. Mm. So the body becomes a subtle body. But you can sense the subtle body is actually very fluid. Yeah. It's not a concrete thing at all. It doesn't really have firm boundaries. It's a kind of emanation. So mind states, like, well, okay, what mind states occurring? It seems that qualities of gladness and joy arising. Mm. Just notice they also have a certain pulsing, vibrant quality to them. And they're in process, they're rising, they're in process. So just what's needed, because the pleasure is naturally very agreeable, attractive, is we kind of say, okay, this is great, this is enough, this is good, and just get less fascinated by it. It's almost like a cooling, like viraga, dispassion. Yeah, pleasure is pleasure. Yeah, that's good. Pleasure is pleasure. Um, it came, it arose, it moving, great, beautiful. It's something happening. It's happening to me. Well, happening. Uh, where's the me in that? It's a me is not really an entity. It's a certain holding. So there's a sense something holds. Then that's the me bit. Is a certain hold. It's a grip. Sometimes quite a gentle grip. That's why it's me. It's happening to. Mm, yes. See. So just as the eye sense is like a intensification, emotional intensity. I'm doing. I'm in trouble. I'm happy. There's a certain heightening of emotion. The me is a kind of heightening of location on this. Got it. Like some kind of tendency to store things. Of course, pleasure is pleasant. Mm. So if we can just say, well, kind of, so what? It seems rude because it is beautiful and it has come as a beautiful result. But you say, yeah, this is as far as you can take me. This is as far as we can go with this. Uh, and what I need to do with this has been done. I am fresh. I'm bright. I'm happy. I've done that. Been done. That's, so stepping back with emotional dispassion, something of that nature. And if you notice those energies are of a pulsing and vibrant nature, you know, they are like this, and that's impermanence. you know, why, so why do anything about it? Sounds good to me. And yet something says, that's interesting, isn't it? Something says now and now, and some feeling of, hmm, because though it's beautiful, it's not the final end of release, of dukkha, of release. Something needs to just mm, release that, release the holding of it, release the ownership. That comes through dispassion. Is piti only felt in the body? I don't often get the sensations in the body. However, I do get a light mind, a smile for me, mm, mm, other than joy, other positive mental states associated with positive feelings in the body, but not of the ordinary ones. And we have these terms, as I've just mentioned, pamoja, gladness, which is more psychological, mental, psychological. So, relief, gladness. And then the piti, so they're somewhat conjoined. So often piti is seen as piti sukha, like almost the two mixed together. So they're not necessarily entirely distinct and mixed together. And piti is the more like the sort of not even physical, but neurological, like a certain, stimulation. And sukha is like a more uh, emotional, of ease. And so that's the way they operate. And so with piti, it just helps to clear out things like dullness, negativity. Is when these release, then there's this kind of sense in the body of, oh wow, I'm no longer cramped. And then piti, and then the heart recognizes that and starts to feel relief and ease. So that's the way that would go. Piti can be associated with kind of more like worldly things, So if we get excited, a reward or win a prize, or sportsman running gets a gold medal, and just pity, shares and great thing, tears roll down their faces, so happy. But then unworldly pity is associated with just purification of the relief from the five hindrances. Not everybody gets this, it's not, some people just not that, system's not that, doesn't quite do that. So it's important. You hear these things, oh, I wasn't done with that. What's wrong with me? I, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Just some people experience things quite, and you see some people just get they thrill with delight, and other people just, okay. So I wouldn't make too much of it as a craving for it. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Some questions, Chitta. Oh, so first of all, thinking mind is the builder, isn't it? The house builder. This is a phrase from the Dhammapada, and the Buddha talks to Mara, the deceiver, delusion, ignorance, and says, "You will not build a house again. I've broken this house, this construction." Yeah. Mm. Mm. The house of the samsara, house of the confinement, the house of the me bag, you could say, that stuff we feel encased in. I've broken it, though you will not build it again, because I understand how it gets constructed, and ignorance and craving occurring. The thinking mind is not the house builder. It's the chitta. It's the house builder. So thinking, just bear in mind, thinking is just like an organ, a function. And chitta gives the orders. Chitta has the volition, you know. So thinking mind is like a typewriter, and patters away. But actually, there's something pushing it to act. Otherwise, it would never stop. But it's not. So, but then the mind, thinking mind, can stop, and then one can be aware of that. Wow, it stopped. because the citta just stopped doing it. It's the cittas where intention, volition, do it, energy comes from the citta. So when the citta's confused, it starts giving instructions, and then the mind is very good at building, you know, and it builds its big construction job. Yeah. So as someone asks, where is citta? Where is citta? Well, where is anything? Where is anything? Where are we now? Yeah. Well, we're in Pakchong. Where's that? That's a word sound. Where's that? Where's in Thailand? Where's that? On the planet Earth, where's that? In space. You have to keep referring it to something else, don't you, to define where something is. Now, if you actually stop doing that, where am I? And you stop constructing, you're here, right? Now we always see we can the mind can construct things very well, very good, and that's okay, you know. But it is construct. You know, the distance is a construction, space is a construction, right? And your eyes do it. Your mind and your eyes do it very well. So I'm here, that's there. So therefore I'm here and that's there. And but actually, what is happening is light hits the eyes, and there's darkness and light. Isn't that true? And then you say, "Oh, he's 2 meters away from me." That's the construction. Something did that. What actually the eye sees is just light, dark, maybe outlines, but even that's a construction, just different shades of light. And when the light goes off, can't construct that. Then where are you? Where are you when the lights go off? So you have to think, oh, I'm in this place. It's a thought, isn't it? And if you don't think, you don't construct. So can you say where you are without constructing with your thinking mind? Can you even say where your foot is? Where's your foot? Now you have to think, I see on the end of my leg. That's a thought. Where's your foot? Well, there's a sort of warm sensation. I call my foot. Yeah, that's true. Where is it? It's in my awareness. Yeah, that's true. Where's that? Um, where's your awareness? Where doesn't work. Yeah. Where is constructed by the mind. Where is about objects. Objects are constructed by the mind. Right? Constructed by consciousness. And so the eye constructs, with the mind behind it, constructs shapes. And say those shapes exist. They're really there. Where are they? There. Oh yeah? You go and try and touch it. The shape is just a mental pattern, a visual pattern, isn't it? Can you touch a shape? You may see a shape. I can't feel a shape. There's no shape. There's texture. Where did the shape go? My arms have lost shape. No, there's a different reference. You know, it's got texture, not shape. Yeah? Where did the shape go? There's a construction. And then if it isn't constructed, it's not there. It's constructed by consciousness. So the visual constructs visual shapes, tactile constructs textures, pressures, and so on. The mind weaves it all together. This is me, that's that, and this, and that's that. And is this far away from me? And is this big? And she's that shape. It reminds me of my uncle. All this stuff constructs it. See, so and then so the Buddha is saying in this process of meditation, just just switch it off. Because what you construct ends up binding you, right? This is called the arising of the world. So if we construct, well, then I'm in it, right? And then I've got to do things to it, and it's going to, and make it stable. But it's not stable because it's a shaky structure. Shape is always unshaping. Things are coming and going. It's a fantasy. It's a mirage. It's a conjuring trick. And we wander. Something wanders around in it, trying to find where I am, who I am, where I'm going to go. And you say, there's nobody going anywhere. There's just things changing. Space is a construction. Time is a construction. The sense of time is what next? Right? What do you mean, what next? That's a drive. That's called bhava. It's an energy that projects what next. No, there's just this, and this is changing, isn't it? And sensations are changing. And there's awareness of changing. So you start to put a time on it, seconds, minutes, hours. That's a construction. We didn't have clocks. How long? So, but still that future. But what you do know about the future, surely, is it's not here, is it? That urge to construct it. Why? Because of insecurity. Obviously, I do the same thing. But the passion for it, I mean, one does it because that's the way the world operates. But the sense of the passion and belief in it, I'm going to become something, is like, this is just stress. So, where is citta? Where is happiness? Where is the end of suffering? Where does suffering arise? Where's the end of suffering? Mm. The Buddha saying, the rising up of nama rupa is the rising up of the citta. With the ceasing of nama rupa is the going out of citta. Where does it go? You can't track it. It's gone out. Where? There's no where doesn't exist because it's gone out of where. And the rising up of Namarupa, that's some form. This is consciousness, right? Consciousness, Namarupa, Vijnana Namarupa, consciousness says there's a thing, it's called Rupa, and I'm going to call it this. I'm going to call it Jerry because it's got those words. Oh man, that's designation. Then I can feel I like Jerry, or Jerry's got a problem, or Jerry reminds me of my dad. Perceptions, color, we'll color it in. That's Nama. There's something there, but I don't know what it is really. But all this naming and colouring goes on to it. And the chitta gets, oh, right, there's Jerry. Jerry, oh, Jerry. Acting, oh, Jerry, what does he think of me? Am I okay? So action starts going, chitta starts getting all up at, Yeah. So then when all that stops, we just realize I can never really know what that is. I don't need to know what that is. All I need to know is what's happening. And then could that just empty out? And the chitta goes goes out of the constructed. It's called unconditioned. It goes out of the constructed. So, as you can see, I like to talk about citta because it happens to be perhaps the most important word in Buddhism. Even more important than dukkha. Thank goodness. Because it's citta that gets out of dukkha, and citta that gets into it, and citta that creates a mess, and citta that gets out of the mess. So it's the most crucial thing. So how can we, if we can be aware of the body, mind, and citta, what is it that watches them? Is it awareness or consciousness that's apart from them? Apart from them. Mm. Well, um, uh, can you be aware of your body? You sure? You're probably aware of sensations. You might be aware of heat and cool. You might be aware of energies. You might be aware of movements. So you're aware of bodily factors. You're aware of bodily factors, bodily conditions, aren't you? Right? So there's awareness of not of a body, but of bodily conditions. So right now, for example, probably we can't really decide whether we have a liver or lungs. I don't know. Where do they go? Yeah. So when you really come into direct realization, we carry this idea of the body around. Yeah, body, bones, kidneys, skeleton. Carry the idea around, but you don't experience them. You experience pleasure, pain, feeling. Mm. And and those are sensed as arising conjoined to the body, and their bodily factors, their bodily sensations, bodily feeling. So we can, and those change. And clearly, you can be aware of visual impression of a body, your idea of the body, you know, how you designate it, male, female, old, young. All this is just names, designation, isn't it? So, we're aware of mind. Well, this is various. Um, what is mind? Streams of thoughts, mental activation, conceiving, thinking, speaking, forming concepts. It's a stream of different, some of them tainted, some of them busy, some of them clear, some of them foggy, uh, some of them rushing, some of them crawling, some stumbling, trains chugging away. Vaji Sankara. These are mental factors propelled by something called Vaji Sankara, an energy that drives and gets the, mental things forming. So we can aware of these. When we're aware of chitta, what are we aware of? We're aware of feeling, emotion, passion, excitement, desire, fear, joy, gladness, hate. You're aware of chitta. You're aware of chitta's factors that chitta is wrapped up in. Right? And then, simply speaking, the chitta is wrapped in feeling, perception, and sankhara. And sankhara means activity, such as intention, drive. So when we come to the chitta field, my chitta is peaceful, the sankharas are quiet. My chitta is agitated, sankharas are active. These are factors that wrap around the chitta, or wrap around. And of course, the thing is, there's no such thing as a chitta. You can't see it. You can see what's these wrappings, these shifting things that are associated with it. So, simply speaking, what is aware of these factors is chitta. And chitta, and it's when it's beginning to get wisdom arising in the chitta rather than confusion. Factor of wisdom arises in the chitta, and chitta stuff. This is perception. This is feeling. This is activation. This is sensations. This is gladness. This is fear. And then it's noticing these. This is the chitta being realizing. So very simply, you can use the image of like a lake. You see, so when a lake is quite still, then you look in the lake, and it's maybe nighttime. You just see the moon because it's so still. You can't even see it because it's not rippling. But you see the moon. Think, oh, there's a lake there because the lake is reflecting. Right? Now, you start throwing rocks in it, get all these ripples. Right? And you put some fish in it, they swim around. Fish, rocks. And so you see all these shapes and forms. Right? And they think that's the lake. That's the chitta. No, that's the agitation of the chitta. Yeah. So, but it's always reflective because that's its nature. It's reflective. But this reflection gets broken up by these agitations. But the reflective capacity is never completely lost. You know? So then there's a noticing of the agitation. But can you see the reflective? No, the reflective sees somebody's trying to see me. Just reflect on what you can, what you can see, and notice it changes, and it's shifting, and it's not solid. This is a realized citta as it's beginning to, you know, recognize its own brilliance, its own reflective quality. Mm. So it's never an object. Mm-hmm. So often because we're so associated with the experience of subject object, we take that as the standard experience, separate. I, this, here, there. I see this. That's the standard. This is called consciousness. We take that as the standard. Here, there, it's dualistic. Here, there. It's that. I see an object. Now, I've been trying to tell you, whatever object there is actually not a solid thing at all. Yeah. Not a solid thing, as I said, with the visual thing. Yeah, sure, you see people. You look at me really clear. You see shape, and you call it people. And you think it's 3 meters away from you. No, it's here. It's arising in your visual consciousness, isn't it? Mm. So there are no fixed objects. There's no place. Mm. Mm. We construct an object for convenience sake. If that inclination, that hunger for having an object, even a subtle object, like where's the divine spirit? Where's the enlightened mind? When an object, but enlightenment's the end of that. Doing that. So if you really return, just these flackering that. And the more we get excited by them, the stronger and firmer they get. The more excited or disappointed we get with these thoughts and impressions, the stronger and more. Here it is. Here it is again. Here comes the doubt. Because we're so agitated by it. That's what makes it so solid. Now, if we're not so agitated by it, it's just this. Yeah. Then you're really not agitated at all. It's just, what did you do? You didn't get rid of it. You just stopped creating it. Stop dragging it up. Where does the memory come from? Where does the memory come from? Where do you get it from? Something is running, isn't it? Rolling around, trying to tell me who I am. I was this, I will this, I did this, I will be this. Yeah, how and it seems so valuable for us. And yeah, it's a creation. Yeah. Mm. Well, one is a nice. So the person mentions in the Samyutta Nikaya, collected sayings 4654. This is says the culmination of the heart's release through metta is beauty. How do you understand this? Well, this is the Haridavasana Sutta. And it doesn't quite say that. It says the cultivation of metta, fully cultivated, culminates in the sphere of the beautiful if there is no further deliverance. That's as far as you can go with metta. So then the heart is released from ill will, obviously. That's where it's released from. It doesn't mean a complete release like nibbana, but it means we're released from various forms of distaste, cynicism, bitterness, depression, mistrust, feeling frightened of other people. It's all to do with degrees of lack of metta. You know? No, it's not your fault, you know. But metta is something that really has to be cultivated to begin to, you know, free oneself from these perceptions and moods. And then the result, he says, is the sphere of the beautiful. Now, so saying, what's this like? Compare this with you're saying, you know, the wrong attention is to the characteristic of beauty. So I was saying earlier this morning, you know, to see the beautiful in the what's not necessarily what's not fundamentally beautiful. This is a distortion. We see the beautiful in what's not actually fundamentally beautiful. So I gave the example of a body. You know, I mean, I don't dislike them. It's not that I hate them. It's just, you know, body is there, you know, fair enough, you know. And, you know, but the sense of, oh, wow, body is like, huh? You know, it's not fundamentally beautiful. We can make it, we can try to make it so, and we want to see it as such. But you often put quite a bit of effort into it. So this is like when you see it in an object, and it's the beauty of of passion, of raga. So raga projects beauty onto it. So that's quite an inflamed raga, passion, weaves beauty onto forms. Weave beauty onto forms. For example, this is a distortion. And once again, it doesn't mean one is averse to forms. It's just you see them as this. Yeah. Some are pleasing, displeasing. But the spirit of the beautiful of metta is a beauty of heart. So it's not raga. It's just you know, a sense of the heart feels a sense of brightness, and we see things, or not exactly see visually, but emotionally see things from a place of goodwill, and we see the goodness. Because a heart of metta sees the lovable in things, sees what's lovable. You know, so it's like that. And this person mentions that Ajahn Chah once told a monk that to counteract lust for someone, one had to not suppress it, but to flip it into metta. And I think I would agree with that. And I think that's very interesting and profound. Yeah. It's flipping the raga of passion into the beauty of metta. Yeah. So in relationships with people, for example, you know, go to the raga projection onto people, you get lust, or energy in your body gets heated up, and you get lust. Body energy gets heated up, And then what are we doing? Just kind of squash it? No, the idea is you it's that and just draw it up into the heart. Just so that's into metta. So it's called the brahmacharya, sometimes simplified as celibacy or non-sexuality, but brahmacharya is associated with the brahmavihara. The brahmavihara is metta. So then the energy that would form lust is transmuted into the heart quality that still experiences others, but in a way that's bestowing warm love upon them rather than trying to draw some gratification from them. Okay, well, I think we've done quite a bit. So the person says, I've noticed some people seem to have absolutely no empathy, no sense of shame or concern for consequences. But I understand that the sense of shame and concern for consequences, called hiriya and ottappa, are supposed to be innate in all of us, but they seem absent in some people. Is it that these qualities are there, but they're overwhelmed by hideous conditioning that some of these people have? I think that's probably the case, yeah. You know, if you get brutalized, then that cuts it off. So people get like this through war, for example. You can't really kill someone with you have hiriyottappa. So people have to be brutalized, fear, aggression, something that drives people, and they close their heart and just do the thing. You know. So you can close it off, can be closed off. And when there's this quality of where for example, criminality, you have to squash your conscience, squash it. Let's do it. Squash it. Ah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. They deserve it. Doesn't matter. Squash it. So, or nobody's looking. Nobody knows. Nobody's watching me. Somebody's watching you. You're watching you. So you have to shut that thing off. So this is does a lot of damage to people. And of course, when that's lost, people do a lot of damage to each other. Hideous conditioning. Well, let's finish on a brighter note. What are the referred to in the homage to the Sangha? What are the four pairs, the 8 kinds of noble beings? So the 4 pairs. This is the stream enterer, the once returner, non-returner, arahant. These are different ways in which realization can be classified. And it's so the 8 means they're someone who's, on the path to it, getting, was heading that way, and someone who's arrived at that place. So someone who's on the heading towards, definitely their trajectory, they're going that way. Yeah. So towards stream entry, and then they've arrived. And this gets very technical, but so it just made a way of kind of recognizing this graduated process of realization. And the first means that sense of doubt, lack of confidence, security, attachment to systems for security, and belief in a solid personality, those disappear. So it's called someone who's actually, arrived at a level of realization. And so this is a recollection, so something venerated. And it really helps us to remember Sangha is not Bhikkhu Sangha, but Sangha of realization. So, that means any of you can be included in that. You could be on the path to stream entry, or maybe stream entrance. So it's a sort of supposed to be an encouraging thing to say yes, this is good. There's still some few things to move yet, but good, get along there. This is worthy. So just recognize stream entrance still has degrees of irritability and sense desire. So, there's hope for you yet. So so you see that those come later. First of all, it's more like the more in kind of intellectual, conceptual stuff shifts. We don't really keep constructing ourselves with our thinking minds. That gives up. And then we've got to deal with the inclination towards pleasure and pain, which is a big, big, big job. So but any of this movement in this direction is considered worthy of respect, worthy of reverence, worthy of offering. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we seem to have moved interest in metta, beautiful states. Let's bring up those 4 words. Metta, this quality is the heart opening, with its natural loving qualities beginning to stream out. Karuna, that which is recognizing the suffering and pain that's in this conditioned realm, and the sense of concern to protect or abate that, whether it's here or there. Karuna, beautiful sensitivity. Mudita, the ability to appreciate the wise, the good, the noble. They're very important to really appreciate any skillful state whatsoever, even if it's for one flicker of a finger snap. Yeah. Yeah. The Buddha said, if you cultivate metta for as long as it takes to pull the udder of a cow, that's called jhana. Just even for one finger snap. If you've done that much, then this is good. So you appreciate it. And then upekkha, the quality to remain serene while conditions go up and down. It takes a strong heart.